Hey everybody, I'm Licia from One Amazing Light, and I just wanted to talk to you today about the dark night of the soul, which is a spiritual transformational process that is also known as a crisis. And it's pretty intense, and it's actually pretty dangerous, and but it's also very beautiful. And I just wanted to speak for a little while about what happens during the dark night of the soul. So it happens to people who are usually on their path for a little bit. So you've been through some ascensions, and then all of a sudden some trauma hits. So for me, my family dog died, and then my father died the week after, and then my mother died 9 months later, and it was extremely hard. I mean, I know that there is no real death, and it threw me so far. Like, I've had lots of losses in my life, and I've never had anything like this happen before, where I got thrown so far that I couldn't even function in my regular job, and I didn't know who I was, and I had to like move out of state and go stay with my sister because I was kind of like a lost mess and so confused, and it was like pretty crazy. In fact, I didn't even know what it was until after I got out of it, and I didn't even know how to get out of it, but it kind of happened with different thought processes, and so I've collected them all and made them into this deck of cards, and I made an article on my website, and I wrote a poem about it. So I definitely want to share how it happened, but it's so crazy. And so the reason I called it dangerous was because at some point you're probably going to want to, opt out. And you definitely, like, if you're thinking thoughts like that, like, definitely please get in touch with a spiritual counselor. There are spiritual counselors trained specifically for the dark night of the soul, and or a psychiatrist or a therapist or friends. If your friends are aware and enlightened, or even just supportive, I mean, take any help you can get. I mean, you're definitely going to need it, and you're not going to really feel like talking to anybody, but it will certainly help. But that's the reason I called it dangerous, because in the dark night of the soul, your ego is getting partially dissolved, and so ego doesn't want to go anywhere. Ego gets a bad rap because ego's not all bad. Ego tells you what you want and what your desires are, so that's cool. But ego also, tells you can't do it, and like keeps you separated from source, keeps you separated from knowing your true divinity. And that's pretty much like what happens during the dark night of the soul. It gets ripped away, but it doesn't just get ripped away. It's like it'll bring you to your knees, and you and ego are going to be like in a fight to the death. And it's so intense. I can't even tell you. But if you're going through it, I mean, my guides, like I think I said, they were like, make the video right now. And so I guess I really wanted to convey, it's my total path. Like, getting out of the dark night of the soul gives you clarity. It's my total path to help people through this dark night of the soul. And you'll have to excuse me, I'm new with the camera, and I just recorded like this really long video, and it didn't even record. So this must be like my 20th take, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But I just wanted to go through the cards real quick and tell you what is going on with the dark night of the soul. So the change that binds you, fear, confusion, and uncertainty. Life feels meaningless because everything that you knew got ripped away. So you're like, what is it? Like, you're literally kind of thrown out into outer space. You'll probably get anxiety, and that's from hanging out in the future. Ego wants to distract you from the present, so it will bring you to the future, or it will bring you to the past. If you're in the past, then depression is gonna come, or if you're in the future, that's projecting your fears into the future, and that's anxiety. Gratitude, that's one of the keys to get out of it. Hanging on to the past, that's something you want to let go of. So during the dark night of the soul, you'll have plenty of opportunities, and when you finally stop hanging on to the past, that's going to release you from the dark night of the soul as well. Shattered paradigm. everything that you knew about yourself, your life, your beliefs, who you are, what you're here for, you won't be able to identify them anymore. They're going to be ripped away. You're going to be confused. But it's all part of the process, and I just really want to spread awareness about it. Have faith in the universe to move ahead in unknown situations. Repeating past patterns. So patterns that no longer serve you will be highlighted during the dark night of the soul. And when you identify what they are, you can heal the cause of it. And I do have a meditation up on my website called Healing the Child Within, and that does help with that. Recognize triggers. So a trigger is an overreaction to something. So if you had a belief system that said you aren't smart, and then later on in life you're with your roommate and they kind of implied that you're not smart, you'll have a overreaction and you'll get irate, and most likely. So that's a trigger. So the present moment, meditation is so important during the dark night. Feeling worthless, because as you grew up with your ego in place, your worth is all entwined in that, and then when the ego gets ripped away, there's that feeling of being completely lost, worthless, like not knowing what's going on, uncertain. Confusion and oneness with source follow the dark night. Oh, serenity and oneness with source follow the dark night of the soul. Clarity. You'll have total clarity when you get out of the dark night. The dark night shows us our true brilliance. And when you wake up in the morning and you're clear, you're gonna see your true brilliance like you've never seen before, and it's literally one of the most beautiful things I've ever encountered in my whole life. You are a divine being of light. So ego kind of covered that up, but you really are. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. Feeling confused. Confusion, huge marker in the dark night. If your friends are going through different awarenesses, if they're going through, ascensions and things, if they're showing that marked confusion, like this could be what's going on with them. Forgive yourself and forgive others. So that's a big one, because you've tried all your life, and if you ever put yourself down and said, you're such a failure, you didn't do that, forgiveness is going to go a long way to help. Non-judgment, that's one of the things, as you try not to judge ever, it does happen, but recognize it when it's happening and release that. Recognize fear-based thinking. So ego tries to convince you to do things that aren't on your path, and that is fear-based thinking is ego, and being connected and having faith is, the opposite. So go that way. Ego will have us think that the illusion is the true reality. So the reality is the illusion, and the illusion is the reality. So we're the spiritual beings having a physical existence and a physical reality, but this reality that looks solid isn't even solid. It's actually just energy, denser energy here, still moving. But it's so easy to forget that we're just playing a role, and life isn't even supposed to be serious. And that's one of the things that you'll really get when you come out of the dark night of the soul, is how much lighter you'll feel. You are source. It will show you that you are complete and total source. You are the universe. You are God. Uncertainty, confusion, and fear mark the falling away of the ego. Like I said, it was what you grew up with and what you identify yourself with. So when that's gone, resistance, you'll see whatever you resist persists, and it's important to kind of dissect what's going on in your life. So when things come into your life on a daily basis, kind of see, if they don't feel good, kind of go back and trace, where did this start? What belief system am I holding about this? And do I need to forgive someone? Do I need to forgive myself? It's very helpful. Think and speak positively. Important. The role of ego, like we've been talking about, it covers a lot. Rewrite a story. Going forward, you're creating your own reality right now, so what do you want? Say, you know, live in accordance to that. You can rewrite the past in your head. You can forgive and, you know, make situations, even if it's in your own mind, come out differently. And, you know, just to get like closure and forgiveness, and you know, it will help. Your soul's blueprint, you know, if you're going through this, you chose this as part of your path to go through it. So it's in your blueprint. Acceptance, just accepting things as they are, not trying to, you know, just being okay. Just settle into the energy right now. Just, you know, don't try to change it. Don't resist it. Don't fix it. Don't try to hang on to things in the past. Don't try to force things in the future. Just be right here, right now. And that's, again, why meditation is so important. Acceptance. Ascension symptoms. So, if you're going through the dark night of the soul, or it can look like a dark night of the soul if it's another ascension, they're, you know, they're different. I won't get into that right now, but not every ascension is the dark night, but the symptoms are ones that mimic, you know, autoimmune diseases and fibromyalgia. Just, you know, you're a butterfly, you're in the cocoon, turning into a butterfly rather, and that's part of it. Emotions manifest in the body. So everything that is a pain or an ache is actually an emotion. Or, you know, anger is like, if it's held in the body for too long and not dealt with, can turn into cancer, things like that. Fear of success, that will go away with the dark night of the soul when you realize how awesome you are. This is what it feels like, the dark night of the soul. So that's the person going through it, and they can be surrounded by everybody and just feel so different. It's really crazy. Depression's living in the past. I did not make that up, but that's part of the dark night of the soul. Is you're going to feel that, and you're going to be transcending it. Who am I? You're going to question everything, and that's a big one. Who I am, how other people see me, and how I see myself. The dark night of the soul removes all feelings except for the presence of source. I love that. It's so true. You're going to wake up so connected. It's, even if you've been so connected in the past, like, you're going to take it to a whole new level.